Brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
And these kids are watching film through the summer. They're playing 7-on-7 leagues through the summer, and they're figuring this game out. And sometimes for a coach, it's so great to be able to go over and ask your player a football-related question and have him 100% know and speak to you verbally like another coach.
You can go in there with a positive attitude and realize that, every school is running in the same, circumstances. You can use that to your advantage.
We've talked about it all year about the importance of the win-loss record, and you hate to get too consumed in that, but with the opportunity to host now, that changes everything, and we've really been focused on it. So we love this opportunity. We love this change.
Kind of learning it on the fly. I didn't know going in, well, I knew after I read into it some more, but I thought the quad was just going to be a bracket play, but it's actually a quad. Everybody plays everybody's.
Lamar wants to throw. Slings it. Complete. Henry at the 5. The King is in! 5 touchdown passes for Lamar. And with 6:32 left to play in Tampa, the Hayes in the bar.
We're just going to keep approaching every week, 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time.
I thought we did a lot of good things, but we got to score points in the red zone. That's the biggest takeaway from tonight's game. We got an amazing kicker, but we got to do a better job for our defense, for our special teams. We got to score points in the red zone.
Efficient, not explosive. They tried a few downfield throws, didn't hit them. But what do? They hand it off. They run those inside zone runs. They push the pocket, 3 or 4 or 5 yard gains. By the end of the day, they got huge time of possession, really wearing out the other team's defensive line.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in to the Tuesday show. Steve Webster with you. Mike Corson, Mike Hesher, and Landon Winkler, our executive producer and plugger in of equipment when things that don't work. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, it's Tuesday. That means we're going to have high school football talk. Cole Reif's going to be in. We're going to talk about Hoisington and Cimarron on Friday night, but we're going to look at the landscape, especially in 2A. My goodness. On the west side, it's really shaping up to be very, very interesting once Week 9 starts next week.
Oh, boy, get that started.
It's Week 9. Week 9.
I'm with you on this one, but
Barton volleyball coach Megan Bessiker will be in. They have 3 matches left in their season until postseason play begins. And get your mic over there. I want to hear this. I haven't heard it for a while. Mike Corson goes on the prowl.
No, it's been better.
And Mike Corson goes on the prowl.
You got to stretch it out, but you were stretching it out the other day.
That's pretty good. Landon Winkler throwing on the prowl in there today.
Twice.
We'll have Tuesday sports headlines and, of course, the sounds the past 24 hours or so. Let's get started here today. Sean Bear, Monday co-host and color analyst for Great Bend Panther football, and Mike Corson or Mike Hesher's Serpa on Friday night home games at Memorial Stadium.
on road games, too.
Yes, oh, he does?
Oh, yeah.
He's carrying a big equipment.
He's carrying the big equipment. Well, we got the young people. Even on the road, the young people are carrying equipment for me. Thank you, Coach Cree.
Sean Bear talking about the football IQ of this year's Great Bend Panther football team. This year's team can talk coach speak.
Especially
because they understand the game. They watch so much film.
Ian Premer. Aaron Beck has gone out and pointed out to me a couple of times that Ian Premer is so cerebral on the field that it's helping them out a lot. Because they can't make adjustments during the game because everybody's playing both ways. So they have to make adjustments on the fly.
And they don't have radios in their helmet.
Well, this is
They're
true.
not supposed to.
Really?
Do they, Hesher?
Maybe they do. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
You turned in Hoiston's football team last year for practicing in the summer.
It was not led by any other.
There's no radio in the helmet. No, it is. It's a cerebral team. They're 7-0. They head to Garden City Friday, and with a win, clinched the outright WAC title, but they also clinched number 1 seed in 5A West, and will play at home the rest of the playoffs until the state championship game. Okay, other high school football. We can peek ahead now to Friday. Liberal 5-2 at Hayes 4-3. Dodge City 4-3 at 5-2 Wichita East. Cimarron at Hoisington. Larned, they go to Lakin. Lakin's 5-2. Larned's 2-5. They're going to get in as a playoff team. Pratt at Cheney. Pratt 6-1. Cheney 6-1. They both lost to Wichita Collegiate. By the way, Andale 7-0. They play another unbeaten team on Friday night. 7-0 Heston.
Ooh.
So the state did a good job breaking up Andale and Heston. I mean, Andale and Cheney.
Yeah, I think last year was an anomaly because I typically email Andale's coach every preseason because they'll respond to me. But I think it was Cheney's coach this year, and he said, well, we don't play them in the regular season usually. But good for Heston. Tyson Bowerly used to be over at Sterling.
Big game in Ellenwood on Friday night.
Probably the marquee, meaningful game of the week.
For two teams that are probably playing for a 4 seed.
Yeah, Conway was in there, kind of locked things up, but
then you've got Sterling and Hutch Trinity in that same district.
Youch.
So Medicine Lodge 4-2. They did not play Mound Ridge in week 2. What was going on that week? Did we have thunderstorms that week, or what the heck happened?
That was thunderstorm evening.
That was
yes,
thunderstorm
yes.
evening. Okay.
Week 2 was.
And then they never made that game up, which for Medicine Lodge, they may be happy they didn't. Mound Ridge is undefeated right now. But anyway, Friday night, that'll be a good one. Southeast of Saline, 7-0 at Fading Ellsworth, who's 5-2. Ellsworth was 5-0 at one point, now looking like they'll have to go on the road in the first round of the two-way playoffs. Russell at Beloit. Beloit vying for a number 1 seed on the west. Sterling at Hutch Trinity. So that's okay, 8-man games. Tomorrow we'll have Central Plains Oilers in here. There will be Oilers all over the place.
The whole team's coming in.
6 seniors.
Okay. Well, that's the whole team, right?
It's okay.
it's 8 man.
I'm sorry.
Man.
Okay. Sorry, Central Plains.
It's easy. You don't have to drive all the way to Great Bend to just egg his house. He lives in Hoisington.
I live in Hoisington.
El Saline at Central Plains. Central Plains roughing up Little River. That game was tied at halftime, like 36-37, and then it was like 62-36 in the second half. Let's see. St. John at Maxville. They were discussing
Stafford County, by golly.
That was quite the discussion on our young ladies on the staff on how many towns are in Stafford County.
Well, it all started with Landon, which you didn't know, but
tell me the towns in Stafford County, Landon.
At least Stafford and St. John.
Where's the flour made?
I don't know.
Okay, there you go. Okay, the Christmas party's coming up. Did you see that announcement today?
Yeah.
yes, I did.
December 21st. I'm going to buy everybody a Rand McNally atlas so they can actually look on the map and see where things are and not just look up on their phone.
I'm thinking one of them didn't even know what a Rand McNally was.
Well, there's that.
I was at the Super 8 in Goodland last week. Free Kansas road maps at the counter, and I only grabbed one. I love maps. I don't use them.
I love maps too. That's how you learn the layout of the land. I mean, my son, he's like first sergeant. Flying into Chicago. I didn't know there was an ocean in Chicago. Are you serious, son? Are you serious?
It's a freshwater ocean.
It's Lake Michigan. Again, Rand McNally, if you've been looking at a Michigan map, he'd have been looking at Illinois,
To be
Wisconsin.
fair, when you grow up by a vet's lake and then you're all of a sudden by this lake that never ends, you think it's the ocean.
Rand McNally. La Crosse is at Ness City, Kinsley at South Gray. Stafford at Fairfield, Victoria 7-0 at Hodgman County, who's 6-1. Chase at Otis Bison. I don't know if that game was going to happen or not. It's been a difficult scheduling year in 6-man football, and Pawnee Heights will be at Ingalls. Okay, Lyles Lashley. Girls claim their 4th straight WAC title last week. Panther boys team still trying to find traction after losing young Mr. Esfeld, but they ran better. Lyles Lashley thinks that program started to get some legs again.
Yeah, it'd be tricky to get in as a team at the regional coming up on Saturday out at Lake Barton, but maybe a couple of individuals can get in. One of Great Bend's top kids can't run on Saturday, so that's always a big hit, but maybe Taven Stroop or our buddy Diego Pasos can get in. or some others.
Okay, volleyball yesterday. Greg Maxwell says he likes a new format. Ellenwood will host a sub-state on Saturday. They had straight set wins yesterday over Hill City, Hoxie, and Stanton County. That's Greg Maxwell. He likes that format. And you're going to talk to him coming up here a little bit after 1 o'clock today.
Yeah, bring in some players. We don't know who yet, but never seen a 25-0 set. Because all it takes is one mistake with the new scoring. Ellenwood was ahead Hill City 23-0. I thought it was finally going to happen, and then Hill City scored
They don't
twice.
have the point rule in volleyball? A mercy rule?
Yeah, once I learned about ping pong, I
Ping
thought,
pong, that's what, don't we have a
7 or 11, what is it?
Don't you have a skunk?
Skunk, yeah.
Okay, so Greg, we'll talk about that. Hoiston continues to roll. That was their head coach, Michaela Riedel, talking about, this new format. I like it. They all play 3 matches. You were going to say round robin, right?
To me, it's a round robin, but I understand both, yes.
That almost came out of my mouth. I said I made fun of Hesher yesterday. I'm going to say round robin. No. And they took care of business. Straight set wins over Lions and Cimarron. 3-set win over Ellsworth. And she says, yeah, everybody plays everybody. Hoiston hosts the sub-state on Saturday. Okay, some big numbers here. And, again, with the world we live in now where you cannot use violent terms, the conversation this morning on the Ann Gray Ben Show was how has the term kill continued to be allowed in volleyball?
It's better than the alternative.
Okay, so Mike Corson, he did his research this morning. So tell me why we call it a kill.
It's not a good explanation, but it tells the origin. In the Philippines, they would call it the bomba or the kill because the people who were putting down the kills or the bombas were referred to as bomberinos. So, but basically you can consider so they said, what's another word if you don't want to use kill? Oh, it terminates. So in a nutshell, you're terminating the play of the point, killing the play of the point. So
well, is that where we need to go? Because a kill, to me, is like kill, right? But if you just go up and just kind of like you do in co-ed volleyball, and you don't get above the net, so you just kind of poke it over the side and it lands with no one hitting it, that is considered a kill too, right?
I believe that is incorrect.
I read your description, and I
was reading quite a bit, and it said there's various hits, but if you just kind of tap it over and it hits the floor, it's generally not considered a kill. It has to be like an active attack.
Well, what would that be called?
See, I call them tips, but it says because they used to chant bump, set, spike, tick, tick, boom,
kill.
So they said spike is not actually correct either. It's the correct term in volleyball.
So we don't have a term for a less aggressive kill.
Well, you got some experts coming in all week. We'll figure it out. But so yeah, the kicker. So Hoisington got to see sophomore Sophia Simic play for the first time ever. So I checked out her numbers because they're comically crazy. 138 aces this season. So I just checked. She's one off the state season record set by Sublet's Emily Lucas in 2008. So given that they're going to go in as the number 1 seed against a lesser opponent, and she's got a crazy serve, expect that to fall this weekend.
And she's
a sophomore,
grizzled sophomore.
Yeah.
And so what are her 548 kills this season? No. Central Christian's Jamie Patrick had allegedly 946 in one season.
What do you mean allegedly?
Yeah, that's like every play. That's where she probably was getting maybe tips. If she breathed on the ball and it got a point, she got a kill. I don't know.
It's the only thing I know where people are championed for the number of kills they have.
No, video games, Landon, you know.
Okay, so we're going to talk volleyball coming up. Monday Night Football, there were 2 games last night. The call on WBAL in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. Best player in football. Connects with Derrick Henry on one of his 5 touchdown passes. Ravens beat the Bucs 41-31. Head coach Jim Harbaugh says for Jackson and the team, it's all about the next game.
So the kicker in that one is it was a kind of a blowout. Tampa Bay scores, gets the onside kick, scores again. Now it's a 10-point game. Still running the starters. Baker Mayfield gets sacked with 90 seconds left. Joe Buck says, I understand you don't want to give up a game, but at what point? The very next play, Godwin goes down with probably a gruesome season-ending injury. One of the top receivers in the league, playing in a 10-point game with 80 seconds left.
They don't have anybody else to put in. It's not like they have a 100-player roster.
You could have ran the ball up the middle.
Oh, gosh. He should have known that his receiver was going to get hurt. Baltimore travels to Cleveland on Sunday, matchup with the Browns. Okay, the other Monday night game came down to the last-second field goal. Cardinals beat the Chargers 17-15. I think the Chargers are going to be good, but not this year. But they're 3-3 right now. Justin Herbert says they need to put the ball in the end zone. 3-3 Chargers host New Orleans on Sunday. And Tom Brady, current Fox analyst, says the Chiefs are just going about it a different way to be undefeated. They're 6-0. They'll put that unblemished record on the line Sunday in Vegas against the Raiders, who will not have quarterback Aiden O'Connell. He's expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken thumb. O'Connell expected to be placed on injured reserve. Raiders signed Desmond Ridder off the Cardinals practice squad. Ridder could compete with Gardner Minshew to start in O'Connell's absence. Okay, the Chiefs with some injury news. Jalen Watson, season-ending ankle injury. He is out. And Juju Smith-Schuster expected to miss at least one game with a hamstring injury. So next man up in Kansas City.
They made the kickoff all funky to avoid all these injuries, and I don't recall a year necessarily being this many high-profile season-ending injuries.
But they're not happening on the kickoffs.
That's what I'm saying is how many were on the kickoffs before versus...
That was concussions for the most part.
Now what's coming?
Yeah.
We already saw the guy last night with
they never practice anymore. You've got to go full speed, man. You got to.
I think they're just too big and strong and fast.
Now, the only other sport I would say that you don't go out and scrimmage every time would have been going back into the early Roman times. It was really hard to scrimmage if you were a gladiator, right? And I could see severe injuries happening with that you could not come back.
They
so
bring
probably
out the tiger kittens at the lion kittens.
How about jousters? You would want to joust.
Well, that thing had a rubber knob on the end of it. They just knocked you off.
Styrofoam poles.
Okay. My bad.
All right, there you go. I like Tuesdays. I like going out into Neptune.
Wednesday when Shelley Duvall's here, though.
Well, that's true too. Although she doesn't understand us, she doesn't understand where we go. Okay, Cole Rife's up next. We have Ellenwood volleyball coming in today. And
Cole Rife? Did you say?
Oh yeah, I said Cole Rife. Ellenwood volleyball. Oh, we've got Megan Bessiker too. So it's volleyball day here on KVGB. The show brought to you proudly by these fine sponsors. Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish, and continued support. They have you covered. Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals, and by the Animal Medical Center. In Great Bend, large or small, they take care of them all. Our bonus question for Landon Winkler today, go ahead and pick the mic up and put it over there. Okay, is Dundee in Stafford or Barton County?
Well, I've been studying a map of Stafford, so I'm going to say Barton.
He's got a map pulled up.
No.
So is that correct?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
Wait, it's between Great Bend and Pawnee
Dundee's
Rock,
in Barton
isn't it?
County.
Is it?
Yes.
I've got -1 then.
Pawnee Rock's even in Barton County, and that's further west.
But if you just go outside of town. Yeah,
Yes, right outside.
That's true. Okay, all right. Okay.
Your mic's not on
I was
anyway.
thinking Seward, so anyway. All right, let's get going. Here we go. Good job, Brandon. 1-0 for the young man.
Let's go.
Okay.
C&E Doors, this is Eddie.
I need some work done.
Are you in a haunted house?
No, it's my garage door. I think I might need a new one.
We can take a look. We can do repairs and replacement. We'll see what's right for you.
What a relief. I thought I was going to get stuck in here.
Call the guys in orange at C&E Doors to fix your haunted house.
C&E Doors, Great Bend. Follow the orange signs just south of 10th and Harrison.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
He's the voice of Hoisington High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Voice of the Cardinals, Cole Reif is in with us, king of the tweeter machine. So was your tweeter machine working on Friday night when you saw that Phillipsburg score beating Norton? I had to go for confirmation on that. There's just no way that was going to happen.
I agree. I mean, I think.
50 to 21.
Yeah, exactly. That's the margin of victory. Like if you were to tell me, hey, because Norton's been. This is what usually happens when teams play with fire for too many weeks.
Yeah.
Because you were telling me, about the Beloit game.
Yeah.
And, they came back out, the next week and gave up some points. They gave up some points to Russell earlier in the year. Usually when you see that trend, you're going to pay for it eventually. Like, if you play with fire, you're eventually going to get burned.
Like somebody throws a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
Yeah, but Norton had been playing with fire for too long. And, for Phillipsburg to do that, and, you look at the schedule that Phillipsburg has had so far this year. Yeah, I text.
TMP beat Phillipsburg, and TMP is a nice team.
I think it was 22-0.
Yes.
Yeah. So who knows? What Norton's just a head scratcher this year. I mean, even when they were winning, it was just kind of like, well, okay. So, no, good news for Southeast of Saline. I mean, they're the clear-cut number one on the west side now. Only undefeated team left on the west.
Halstead may be a team you got to look out for.
I was just looking at them because, I was like, they got Ellsworth, and then, before that, they gave Southeast probably their best game this past Friday night.
38-15.
They gave Pratt probably, outside of Pratt's loss to Collegiate, Halstead probably played them, the next closest, and then they also played Heston really close. Now, they also lost to, Hillsboro, and they have another loss in there that was just like, what are you doing? But, yeah, I would say
Hillsboro's turned out better than people thought.
They're okay. I think they're okay.
I can't remember. They got blown out in week 1 by somebody. It was Haven.
Okay.
And then Larner was saying, oh, boy, we're going to get Hillsboro in here because they, and of course, Haven's lost one game now. So,
yeah.
Okay, here you go. So here's 2A West, right? Okay. Norton. Southeast of Saline, Beloit, Ellsworth, Garden Plain, Haven, Hoisington. I like Hoiston. Anytime your others considered in the rankings and you're 3 and 4, that's cool. Kingman, Phillipsburg. Those are the K-Prep rankings that are either, there's 2 teams from the West ranked. Norton dropped to 5. Southeast is 1. The other one's getting consideration of Phillipsburg's in there 4 and 3.
Yeah, I think you're getting a lot more conversation on the East right now. Obviously with Nemaha Central being number 2 and the 2-time defending state champs, but Osage City is undefeated. Humboldt jumped into the top 5 this week. They're still undefeated. Council Grove, Silver Lake, those types of teams are still getting a lot of recognition on the East side. But for our conversation purposes on the West, I still think now we were putting Southeast and Norton on that same platform. I'm going to have to, push those Blue Jays off the platform a little bit and knock them down to the next one. I think Southeast is by themselves.
Oh, they're on top of the hill. And the other people are digging in sand just trying to get close to them right now.
Yeah, exactly. So then I put Norton, maybe in a cluster with a few other teams that are kind of like, okay. I think, if Beloit's going to have a say in that, that's going to be a really good district runner-up. Now, I say district runner-up. Phillipsburg could have a say in that, depending on what happens in their ball game coming up on Friday, where they finish in their district after that big win against Norton. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you're going to have a lot of teams. Hoisington will be in that mix, along with teams like Beloit, Garden Plain. Kingman, I was thinking for a while, but maybe drop it. But Haven's going to have a say in there. You mentioned Halstead. I think there's just going to be a number of pretty good second-round matchups in Class 2A this year.
I wish they'd rank the teams. It'd make it easier for 3, 2, 1A, because they still have the district format, but the way it is, it doesn't. You got to kind of go across. Well, I guess you always had.
Now you've seen the new format, though, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of. But you've got to go. Okay, they're going to be 4 seed, number 3 seed, or the third ranked 4 seed.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But at least they're going to give us the top 16 teams. You're going to get a seed, and it's going to make it very clear, who's going to be hosting games going forward. So I like that. So if you're the number 1 seed, you don't have to go on the road at all this year.
But you could end up spacing somebody in your own district right away, really.
You could play them in the first round.
May play Minneapolis.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, Hoisington could play Larned, in the first round. I like that because, not necessarily I don't want to play the same district team, but it is cool because you never got to touch, District 5, like Hoisington's in District 8. And so the West is 5, 6, 7, and 8 districts, right? So you never got to touch a District 5 team or a District 6 team until the sectional round or the third round. So I like the fact that, you might play one of those teams right off the bat in the first round. Like we were just saying with the number of people, it's unfortunate that they finally switched this format the year that Hoisington started out the year 1-4. So they're not going to get the ultimate number 1 seed. The best they can do right now is to get that number 4 seed if they wrap up the championship on Friday.
Right. So they would be, you'd 1 of 4. Right? So they'd be in with Southeast of Salina.
Yeah, more than likely they'll be on the same side of Southeast. Yeah.
So the rankings. Talk about 5A. What's going on there? Because you rank these with K-Prep, so Goddard, Hayes, Hutchinson, Liberal, those are the 5 that the others consider. Goddard Eisenhower lost to Andover Central last week. Then you have the Panthers ranked number 4, and then the top 3 from the East, St. Thomas Aquinas, Mill Valley, and Blue Valley.
Yeah, again, outside of the Panthers, I think the power is still in the East for Class 5A, which is good for Great Bend. So you talk about your path to get to a state championship. Goddard Eisenhower fell this past Friday night, close game, but they ended up losing, so they drop it to the 5. They're able to still stay in that top 5 rankings. But then other than that, Goddard's good. As far as record-wise, Goddard has a good record. Liberals sitting at 5-2 on the year. They go to Hayes this upcoming Friday night. So there's just not a ton of... And Liberal played Great Bend close, but there's just not a ton of big record-wise on the west side right now. Even teams that are good, like Hayes, doesn't necessarily have, what are they, 4-3 now? Yeah. After losing to Great Bend.
Right around that 8 and 9 spot.
So they have a lot to play for in that game against Liberal, because I think Hayes can go from the 6th seed on the west to down to the 10 or 11 seed, maybe the 10 seed on the west side. So they got a lot to play for too. So yeah, again, I think Great Bend's in really, really good shape. Goddard, Eisenhower, those would be the teams that are kind of okay, they might give you a good run for your money, but yeah, it's there for the taking for the Panthers.
Another game. Because the chain gang on Friday night knew where we were from, Great Bend and Larned. We're going off at halftime. You know that Allen Wood's ahead of Conway at halftime? I said, yeah, you guys have been drinking a lot over here on the sideline, haven't you? How about Ellenwood going and playing big boy football against, smash mouth football and hanging right in there, and that's about as close as anyone's played Conway this year.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like Conway was like, oh, yeah, they're pretty good this year. No, they were clear cut. Everyone's just like, it's Conway Springs or nobody, for the most part in Class 1A. So, that was a clear cut number 1 team in the state that I thought, Ellenwood obviously held their own against. And, we looked at this part of the schedule for Ellenwood, and even with Hutch Trinity, before, in the week coming up, but you knew it was going to get tougher. But I feel like they've held their own. They took another step because the year that they jumped out to that start and they're beating Syracuse,
Stanton County.
Yeah, Stanton County. It's okay, years past, maybe you did lose to those teams, but that was one step. I think
your whooping's coming.
Not now. Yeah, but now you took another step to be competitive with teams that are notably good.
Big game Friday night. Biggest game I remember in Ellenwood in a long time. Medicine Lodge comes in. Heck, they were ranked second in the state early this year.
Yeah.
The preseason, but and that's going to be for a playoff spot probably to lose.
Isn't that sad? As good as a year as it's been for them, and it's like, okay, now you got to figure it out in your own district.
Houston plays Cimarron on Friday night. Okay, Dr. Reif, what's the sick chart look like?
God, I mean, it felt really good. Like when we jumped on the show last week, I felt really good because Hoiston was getting Jason Robinson back, and then they were getting Kyler Russell back, and you're feeling really good about, Taylor Morales will be back soon later on in the year. But then last Friday night they played without Taryn Kraft. We talked about his hamstring issues, for a number of months really that he's been dealing with it. It's just never any game this year. I mean, even the first 6 weeks, like he just hasn't been 100%. Now, 80%, 85%, Taryn Kraft is still really, really good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But, I mean, it took him out. He didn't play last Friday night at Larned. And so
you see him playing tomorrow? I mean, Friday?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the question with Taryn. So, I mean, you talk about just the immediate impact, your leading rusher and your leading tackler. Gone. Now, I mean, they have guys that have played and got varsity experience, but you can't replace, your leading tackler and your leading rusher. So, I mean, that was a huge blow. I thought Kyler Russell did good, last Friday night, but it's just, I mean, it's not Taryn Kraft. So, that hurts. I mean, they haven't played one single game this year where they've been fully healthy, and that's sad to me.
Yeah.
That's really sad because at this time of the year now, because before, at least you had the hope of, okay, hey, these guys are coming back. But now you got Kraft and it's happening, this part of the season. That's tough. Good news, Taylor Morales, it seems like he's practicing, this week. Now, how quickly does he rush into the mix? I don't know. But still good news on his progression. And but, yeah, no setbacks for, either Kyler Russell, not that you expected it too much there, but more so for Jason Robinson. No setbacks through the last 2 weeks that he's played.
Yeah, it's like, the seniors. Taryn's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you get a hamstring, it might be 75%, but if I'm Zach Baird, I don't want him going anywhere close to 75%. Right. I want him staying about the 60%. And yeah, I don't know if we'll see him on Friday night. I think I'd rest her up and get ready for that last run.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, that's just it's been a tough year. I mean, like, you don't like to use excuses. I mean, Hoisington's Hoisington. They are who they are, and they have a standard that they set. And it doesn't matter who you have in that lineup. But the smaller classifications, it's just like, I mean, it's just blaringly obvious when you're missing guys like that at this level.
Okay, here we go. So remember, week 9 is next week.
You mean the first round of the playoffs?
No,
it's the first round of the playoffs.
Week 9.
So what happens if you lose in week 9? Do you get another week? Do you get a week 10?
No, you advance on to the playoffs if you.
So it is a week 9 of importance.
Okay, now the home team has to pay the officials, and did you know in week 9 that the visiting team splits the revenue with the home team?
Really?
Yeah. For the smaller classes, yes.
Okay.
I guess if you have to go on the road, they try to.
I feel like that's the privilege of hosting a game, right? Not only do you get to play on your home field, but you also, get the cut.
How about these rivals playing a week 9 game? Does say, Larned come over and make sure that they have one of their representatives at each of the gate locations so we make sure that this thing's split evenly?
$6, all right, we'll take 3. Oh, the word that you're looking for earlier, dink.
It's a dink?
It's a dink. Now, I don't know if that's an official stat term for volleyball, but
that would be...
If you just tap it over, it gets over, it's not an actual kill in volleyball, a dink.
Well, that would lead to what would a donk be.
Well, you told me all about the good donks and the bad donks. I still remember that story.
That's what my father told me growing up. Yeah, you're either a good donk or a bad donk. If you're a bad donk, you're kicked off the team.
If you're a good donk, you can get away with stuff.
You can get away with stuff, exactly. All right, Cole Reif, the one and only here on Sports Day.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Working the land is by nature a dirty job. What fuels me to get it done? The generations of farmers who've worked the soil before me. What fuels my equipment? Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, a premium diesel fuel with an additive package that's 40% more effective at breaking down engine deposits. The cleanest fuel yet for the dirtiest of jobs. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
Discover affordable education with Barton Online. Whether you're looking to pick up a class or earn your associate degree, we've got you covered for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling with 5 sessions available this fall, including 16, 8, and 4-week sessions. Get started when it fits your schedule. Tackle your gen eds or the first 2 years of college with a low-cost pathway and save time and money with Barton Online. Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back. Sports Day brought to you in part today by the American Plains Co-op. Bulk Fuel Department, they feature number 2 clear diesel, bulk fuel, E10 fuel delivery, and all your lubricants and fuel supplies. And Equity Bank, adding value for their customers and communities. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoiston, and Larned. Visit the locations tab at equitybank.com. Time to talk Barton volleyball. Head coach Megan Bestiker in with us. Also Cassidy Nixon. As here we are. You have 3 matches left in the regular season. How
4.
great! 4.
Yes. We have that one in November. Yep.
Ah, okay. 4 match. What the heck? The whole season's left here. We still have 2 weeks to go. But it is crazy. I mean, we're down to the last 2 weeks of the year. So
it is.
Pretty good, though, so far. The week that was, let's go back and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 matchup at the Kirkman Center.
Yes.
Colby comes in and is able to, I guess, do to you what you did to them out there. But I would say pretty balanced teams. Another great match last Wednesday.
Yeah, it was a very high-level match. Both teams didn't make many mistakes. I think we lost by a total of 7 points, so that's always hard. Most of the sets were 2 points. One of them was 3. They did a really good job offensively. They had their outsides combined had 40 kills, so that's kind of who hurt us. We've practiced it a lot this week, and they're a really good team. I mean, we were 5, they were 8. They had only lost to us in conference, so we knew it was going to be a tough matchup, but we're hoping we get that matchup again to kind of get back at them a little bit. We hit 243 as a team. Most of the time when you hit that high, you win games. And they just hit just a little bit better. They hit 253. You know, in the 4th set, we had 17 kills as a team, and rarely do you ever lose a set when you have that many kills. So I think it just speaks for how high level the match was and how both teams really earned their points. Nobody really made many errors.
Cassie, what did you see from that Colby team? Was it just, 2 balanced teams going, and when you went out there, you played better than they did, and then when they came here, they played better than you, or did you see anything different from what they did as far as the way they attacked?
I would say the whole game was a good matchup, but looking at the overall stats, they played slightly better than us, and being a home court, obviously we wanted it more, but obviously they had to come back from after we beat them at their home court, so it was just a tough game all the way around.
Okay, here we go. You mentioned that November 1st, or the November matchup. It's on Saturday, November 2nd, but here's what you have left right now. You go to Dodge. That's tomorrow. Then you're back at home against Garden on Saturday, Hutchinson a week from tomorrow, and then you close out at Cloud. What's on the line for this team right now as far as you're looking ahead to the postseason? What's on the line right now?
Obviously, we're still taking one game at a time. This matchup tomorrow is going to be really tough. Dodge is a tough place to play. They're third in the conference. They do good things. They're very good offensively, so we have to slow them down a little bit. And then, thankfully for us, we have 2 home games in a row after that. So Garden at home on Saturday, Hutch at home on that next Wednesday, and then Cloud on the road. If we win out, we get to host the region because we win the tiebreaker. So that's obviously the goal.
Yeah,
but one game at a time, just focus. Now we don't have that one game ahead anymore. So we really have to take every game super seriously, play our best. We talk about all the time, we're the team that everyone wants to beat. So we're going to get, their full effort. Nobody has anything to lose when they play us. So they just get to play carefree, and we need to do the same. Just don't play to lose, play to win.
How do you see that from your opponent, Cassidy, when you come in right now? I mean, Big Bad Barton, top 10 team. I mean, do you get that vibe?
Yeah, every game we play, it feels like every team comes out at us with their best, and it's like they can't make errors. Like, we have to force them to make errors. So that's when we have to come in and play our best, if not better.
Can you feel when they know they're not as good as you and maybe they get off to a shaky start, now's the time to go in and just take them out at this point?
I say, honestly, I don't feel like anyone's, before maybe warm-ups they do, but once the game starts, I feel like all nerves are set aside and everyone just wants to win.
Okay, we talked about the loss to Colby, but, okay, so you don't want to follow up one loss with another loss, right? Didn't do that on Saturday. How do you think that the team bounced back on Saturday in taking 3 straight from Seward?
I'd say Wednesday night was obviously a rough night for us after, but we came into practice on Thursday and Friday with good mentality that we wanted to be better, and I think Saturday we did just that.
Okay, you came in here all the way back in, what was it, probably late, I don't know. Yeah, this
Beginning of
first, but yeah,
late August.
Yeah, first show probably that we did, and you talked about how excited you were. We had a lot of people coming back. So the team that rolled out, I think you went to, did you go to Dodge the first tournament? Or
We went to Garden and then Dodge.
Garden. So you went to Garden. You're talking about that team, okay?
Yes.
So looking back now, you want to get better as the season goes along. So have you got better, and in what areas?
I'd say we've gotten better in our chemistry of the team. I'd say little parts have we gotten a little slow, and I think that just kind of happens the second round of conference. But I think after this loss that we just had, we'll bounce back from that and be better than we were.
Okay. Tell me about how's the postseason going to work, Megan, for all the Cougar fans out there.
So right now, we've automatically locked in a first-round home game. So November 6th, that Wednesday, we'll play the first round at home. Our opponent, we still don't know yet, but that'll be Wednesday at 6:30. And then the region tournament will be that weekend. Hopefully we're hosting that, and I believe it's the 9th and 10th. It's that Saturday, Sunday. So the semifinals will be that Saturday, and whoever wins the semifinal games will play in the finals on that Sunday.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's always nice playing at home, but again, you can't just, okay, we're at home, we're going to win.
Yeah.
That
didn't happen last year. So.
No, I think that we got that. So you look at what's left, Cassie, for this team. What do you want to see here in the last 2 weeks? Just continue to keep on doing what you're doing?
I'd say do that, and, just keep winning. Every set matters. We can't take a loss at this point, so I'd say just keep doing what our team's doing, and we should be fine.
Okay, and you didn't know where Dundee was?
I did not.
Okay,
Sorry.
Well, I thought it was in Stafford County. Landon beat me on that. So anyway, okay. And we were talking about kills today. Mm-hmm. So is it a kill even if you, dink it?
If it scores, it's a kill.
Really?
Yep. That's what we talk about all the time. We have
so you can just kind of have a tap, and Cole Rife suggested maybe just call that a dink. But that's still a kill.
If it lands, if it gets dug up, it's not a kill. But anything that lands is a kill if you're trying to score off of swinging or tipping. So, yeah.
Okay, so it can be a violent kill or it can be just a little soft.
Yeah, that's what we talk about all the time. You don't have to hit the ball as hard as you can. Find the spot on the court. They both count for the same thing. So.
Okay. You educate us every time you guys come in here. We really appreciate it. Hey, good luck. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Thank you.
Megan Bessinger, Cassidy Nixon here talking Barton volleyball. Going to talk Ellenwood volleyball coming up next on Sports Day.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
See any doors? This is Eddie.
I need some work done.
Are you in a haunted house?
No, it's my garage door. I think I might need a new one.
We can take a look. We can do repairs and replacement. We'll see what's right for you.
What a relief. I thought I was going to get stuck in here.
Call the guys in orange at CD Doors to fix your haunted house.
C&D Doors, Great Bend. Follow the orange signs just south of 10th and Harrison.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by some regional champion Ellenwood Lady Eagle volleyball players. We've got senior Kennedy Binky, junior Reagan Widener, and junior Kendall Moore, and of course Coach Greg Maxwell. Congratulations, girls.
Thank you.
I like it. They both went in at the same time. They follow instructions, Coach. Let's just talk about the format. We've talked about there was a lot of confusion. Was it a quad? How was it going to play out? I'm messaging you this weekend. What happens if the number 1 seed doesn't win the regional title? You say just win it. How big has that mindset been for you players that let's not even put the question out there, we're just going to win this thing?
I'll just say, obviously, there was a lot of change, but I think we're used to that, and we adapted, and we played well, and I think that's just part of our usual routine. So,
I didn't have time to research it, but what was the competition? If you guys had been a 2 or 3, how important was that number 1 seed?
I think mainly taking that number 1 seed was hosting. We really wanted to host at home and have our big crowd at home, so it was really important that we claimed that 1 seed.
And I just mentioned it in our open. I've never seen a 25-0 set, and I know it's smaller volleyball, so sometimes you'll see some weird things, but at 2A I did not expect 23-0. Have you guys ever played in a 25-0 set?
We did last year against Chase. Chase High School.
Okay. And it's a 1A school, so but yeah, 2A Hill City's typically athletic. What was the mindset when you get to 21, 22, 23, thinking it was going to happen?
I think we were hoping that it would happen. It was kind of just, once we were at 21, we knew just finish it.
Who was on the serve? To me, that person had the most pressure.
I think it was Bennett.
Yes.
Our libero.
Because if you make a mistake, it's over, and she didn't make a mistake. So, Coach, I'm going to come back to you, and we'll get into the girls on this one. But, yeah, I've been covering you for a while, and you come in and you say you're going to build a tradition. Okay, if all coaches say that. You ended a 21-year drought in 2018 going to state, back in state at 2021. How have you been able to actually – you've lived it out now. You've kind of built Ellenwood as one of the Class 2A powerhouses.
Just time. It's time and commitment and just believing in the kids that they want to be part of it, and you got to know we're all on the same page. And I don't think you have to be special in who you are. You just have to give them the time and get better each day. And that's been a goal of mine. If I'm growing, I think the kids are growing. And I've even laughed about where I was at in my first couple of years about what I knew at that point compared to what I know now.
Girls, for what's that like for you? So 2018, no, Kennedy's a senior, but you guys still would have been grade school, middle schoolers. What was the anticipation of, hey, we're going to play for that guy in that team someday?
I remember going to the Hayes state championship, and I just watched them. I was like, holy crap, like, this is me in a couple years. I think I embraced it, but I was also like, wow, like, this is a new level, you know.
We were talking in the break room because you all are kind of tall. 5'10" is the shortest of you. When did you guys hit growth spurts?
Me specifically, I would say sophomore summer, which is really late for most girls. Like, when we were young, Kennedy was a foot taller than me. So I really grew a lot early high school days.
I've been about almost the same height since 7th grade. That was my growth spurt, but then I just randomly, I think between freshman year, I grew an extra inch randomly. But other than that, I've been the same height. So
does that change your approach, or are you back row diggers and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to be a blocker hitter?
Yeah, I actually used to be a libero for my club team. Now I'm the complete opposite. So it's really fun.
Well, I say I know your dad, both tall guys, so you had to know it was coming.
Yeah.
Maybe your dad.
My dad's 6'2".
Okay, so it was all coming.
Yeah. Yep.
And we'll talk about development here because if you've blanked somebody, you know there's levels of development. Hill City, you could just tell in the warm-ups, different level of development. What is the process, or when does that really hit to be a successful hitter? Because it's timing, coordination. What goes into that?
I think part of it is just repetition. Like, it helps to be really athletic. It helps to be strong. But I think a lot of it is muscle memory and just practicing a lot to be a good hitter.
Anybody else?
I agree. I think it's a lot of muscle memory because there's so many things that go into hitting, but I think it's just trusting your ability to make the plays and not overthinking anything. So
we are talking to Ellenwood senior Kennedy Binky, and we've got juniors Reagan Widener and Kendall Moore and Coach Greg Maxwell here, Lady Eagle volleyball team. Talk about your kind of a unique situation. You've got two middle hitters and blockers here and a right side hitter who's left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Reagan, tell me about the left hand, how that's beneficial to you on the right side.
Well, I kind of just have more range of motion for my left hand. It also kind of helps the setters because they can set it more inside and I can go get it. But yeah, it really helps with knowing where I want to hit and kind of just hitting the right spots. I just have more space. You know, I can approach from farther back, and I think it's really beneficial to the setters and the team in general.
And you other two are middle. Are you ever at the net at the same time?
No, because we're opposites.
So how beneficial, girls can answer this, how beneficial to at least one of you is going to be at the net at all times?
I think it allows the team to kind of relax because you're like, oh, our playmakers are there. Like, so this rotation, we have Kendall. She can pound the ball in this. And then obviously next when I come up, they're like, okay, we can relax, you know, just trust our abilities to make the plays. And I think that's very helpful.
We were talking off the radio here, club play for you guys. I've followed the Maxwells on Facebook forever. I've seen his kids come up through the clubs, probably seen pictures of you guys. How important has that been in your progress as players?
It's very important. Being in that early development of volleyball, I mean, I've played since I was 8 and grown up in it. So it's really important getting in that club and getting extra reps during the winter.
And I always like to ask the kids who kind of duel it, what's better, a good hit or a good block?
I think the block has more power to intimidate and momentum-wise, but a kill is always really good too.
Speaking of momentum, first time I'd seen you guys in a while, didn't make it over last year. New uniforms this year, so you're going to come out and pound the ball in pregame. Coach, you can answer this. We might call you America's team. Last night it was a white jersey, navy trim and letters, and then a red arm sleeve that fades to blue. Your girls are going to be intimidating when they come out regardless. Just how's the look? How does that do the opponent in early?
Early on, we started with arm sleeves, and we kind of started a trend in our area, we noticed, and we saw some teams that were doing it in club realm and loved it. We went to Nike, which was a new look for us, and we kind of like that Team USA look, and that was kind of our motto this year, that we wanted to play at the highest level possible, and we love it. We feel it gives the girls a ton of confidence. We love the look of them.
Girls, we got about a minute left here. Earn the number 1 seed. You've got losses to Beloit, where they still number 1 in 3A. Clay Center's number 4 in 4A. I think Little River's number 1 in one of the 1As. Expectations going into this sub-state tournament on your home court this weekend?
Very high, obviously. Obviously, we're really pumped to be able to host that because that's what I think of. How long ago was that when we?
I don't know the last time we've hosted, so we were thrilled to play at home.
Yeah, it's obviously just another level of play that will be on top of the world, it felt like. So
2021 is the last time Ellenwood made it to state. Kennedy, you would have been a freshman. You two juniors in here, how big will it be to get over that hump? And it's not that you guys haven't been just crazy 2A, Hillsboro, Smith Center. How important to get to that state stage this year?
Very important. I think it's a goal. I think just we would have been 8th graders watching them play at state, and I just remember really wanting that and realizing that that was going to be us. And we've kind of just gotten to the point where we've almost been there and haven't. And I think this is the year that, with full confidence, we can do it. So
we've been hearing from Lady Eagles senior Kennedy Binky and juniors Reagan Widener and Kendall Moore. Girls have been ranked number 2 all season, earned the number 1 seed in regionals, and now at Sub-State. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in. More Sports Day after this.
Hey y'all, it's Dr. Ty here at Animal Medical, and in the next couple months, we are going to pivot and talk about behavior and training. From our standpoint, we see it affect so many folks out there, and the relationship with their animal and even the relationship with us as their caretaker is all affected by how those animals get started from a training process. Focus on some basics. If you have any questions, call. Large or small, we take care of them all.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back. Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Final segment of today. Come on in, Hesh. You're valuable. It's okay. You can come in and join the program.
I know where Dundee's at.
Well, wait.
I know where Dundee's at.
It was on US 56.
On the way to Larned.
Was it 8 miles west of Dayton?
Yeah, I was thinking Seward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dundee and Seward get, yeah, duh, okay. No wonder, but yes. I guess I really can't say anything, right? Because, I mean, Landon had to look it up, right? But, we didn't know Dundee. I was thinking Seward. So is Seward, that's Stafford County.
Where's Dartmouth?
Barton.
Is it Massachusetts, the call? Oh.
No, it's the one out here. It's the grain elevator where I turn to go to Hoisington through Juca Road.
Okay, there you go. Confirmed by Megan Bessiker.
That was good.
Even if you little tippy, or
it's a kill.
As Cole Rife called it, a dink. It is still a kill.
Interesting.
If it hits the ground.
If it hits the ground, no one gets a hand on it.
Right, it's a kill.
So a dink or a donk could be a kill. Pretty good, huh? Basketball season starts in just a few days. How about the Barton men, ranked number 2 in the country? South Plains, the number 1 ranked team in the Division I preseason poll. That's pretty exciting. Barton picked to win the Jayhawk West. Women, Lady Cougars, picked to finish 3rd in the Jayhawk Conference. You ready for basketball? Aren't you doing a bunch of November games?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, depends on what Great Bend does. Football.
Well, they play on Fridays. You can still do.
There may be a couple games in there that I could do, but I told Cole no.
Okay, all right.
I got to focus. It's all about GBHS football.
Okay. What else? Anything else? I mean, good job. I mean, again, it's fun bringing these area schools in and the young athletes, and it's so good to hear how good they speak. Yeah, it's
every
awesome.
time you bring in a newbie, it's like what's it going to be like today? Because I'm not the world's greatest interviewer. They bail me out pretty much every time.
You have made
but it is
gigantic strides.
Probably.
You're a very good
Definitely
interviewer.
would have wanted to go up against newbies 2 years ago. But it has been fun because these student athletes do very nice things, and they work very hard to do those nice things. And so to be able to share that and highlight them, it's awesome.
They represent themselves so well, and it's amazing to me.
And it's fun. We'll have more in here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
6 Central Plains Oilers. By the way, you've got to do that, Hash, because who knows? I may end up officiating a Central Plains game down the road.
Oh, so you can't do that.
I don't think I will. So, I'll be here with you tomorrow.
All right.
Oiler football talk tomorrow on Sports Day.